My wife and I love that umbrella guy. We love that umbrella guy.
Hey there, so if you love that umbrella guy too, make sure that you sub, make sure you hit that bell for daily notifications, and if you want to go further, well, there are links in the description. More on that at the end of the video. So today I want to return to that wonderful world of anime, and make no mistake, no matter what we talk about, that world can indeed be wonderful. Looking behind the scenes, however, we have been given a glimpse at pettiness, at words most foul, and how people, they will go out and act indignant. They will act venomous, vitriolic, because they themselves, they always think they're above. They're right. It's quite amazing to see. Now, during this, we have two words that are brought up a lot. And during the Kamehacon incident, and even before, I noticed them quite a few times. Those words, the fans. You see that? Noted. The fans all the time. I mean, when Kamehacon was brought up right off the bat, when Monica decided that she was going to step out because of quote-unquote safety concerns, when, Vic was reannounced, she talked about, I don't want to disappoint the fans. She's also talked about other things too. Who are those fans, for example? Well, I guess it depends on what you have to say out there. Her fans, after all, they understand and they're thankful. They're thankful that she'll be doing a signing in town for them that weekend. The other folks out there, they're not really fans. I mean, if you paid thousands of dollars to go to Kamehacon, you actually had tickets, room and board and on, well, you have a complaint about it, you're not a fan. You're a bully. Anyone going out there talking about that, you're a bully. Take that to the bank. I mean, you see these words coming up over and over again, and you have people that talk about this too. Monica, why did you just abandon your fans at Kamehacon? A lot of people paid money to see you. Imagine the look on the kids' faces when they look up to Bulma, when they find out you didn't show. I understand the Vic issue, but please go for your fans. Well, hey, I'm going to have it another place, I'm going to have another location there. They'll have an opportunity to see me. All they have to do is pay more money to get to said location. All they have to do is give up that time at Kamehacon. But still, I'm going to be there for the fans. Another person, you see people like this. You don't feel safe there? That's ridiculous. I mean, look at these statements. Kamehacon has a vast security force. People talk about that, because again, fans. But I guess that they're not real fans. You see this statement too. Monica decided to cancel her Kamehacon appearance because she is quote-unquote concerned about her safety. Sounds like she took her ball and went home. Is it so hard to be professional, to put personal grievances aside and act like an adult? Conventions are for the fans. Then you see people sounding off on this too. I can't imagine this place too, a place that decided to go out and attack the Salvation Army of all things. Now, I can't imagine how she could possibly feel unsafe after months of harassment, threats, and doxing from Vic's army of sexual assault supporters. You see what she's signing off on here. But think of the poor fans. She gets in on that. Well, I'm doing 2 signings in Dallas that weekend to make it up to the fans, just finalizing the details. So again, for the fans, and you're not fans. If you said anything about it, well, you are a harasser, you are a threatener, you are a doxer, you're those people that they kept on a watch list after all. You see people, of course, divided in there, saying that's a good call, too. You see people going sounding off on that, and interestingly, you always see certain folks popping up anytime you have a statement about, well, it's Kamehacon's fault. You see so many folks, and then when you had the new announcement here, when people saw this, for myself, first of all, I see Kamehacon tagged in, and Kamehacon does talk about this later on. But I can imagine the way that this transpires. I can imagine why you would do that. And well, the vindictiveness of certain people out there, we've seen it for months. If you really want to go out and you want to see an interesting tale of that, look up words like fan. Just go up and do a simple search for this person's Twitter and look up words like fan or fans. You'll be interested in how many purity tests are out there. Of course, you have people out there saying, hey, I'm impressed with you doing that. Thanks. I love the fans. And I realize I wouldn't be here without them. Of course, where are you? Well, you're 24 miles from the place you promised your fans you'd be. But hey, you and Ron don't seem to have a problem with that. Thank God, here's somebody says, that it ain't where I spend my money. I'd hate to boycott a beloved LCGS due to a sycophant who undermines American justice and ideals of innocence before proven guilty. Talking about that place. Ron, of course, has to have his wording thrown in there. Ridiculous. And you notice something about Ron here. Ron doesn't have the little icon today. That's right. You can actually see what Ron's saying. Quick, follow him before he locks it down again. This is going to be a great event that supports a local comic book shop and gives the fans an opportunity to meet some amazing people. We hired private security, and it's going to be great. So, of course, they got security. Is it going to be safe there? Well, I guess because you're not going to attract the wrong element. Although I've heard some interesting conspiracy theories on that, too. If I had to choose between that or Kamehacon, I'd quickly choose Kamehacon. No disrespect, but there's more to do and see than just like 4 voice actors at a local comic shop. Not asking people to choose. It isn't a con. You're not asking people to choose. How is that? I mean, you put it on the same day. You tell people they have to travel. And if they come in with a Kamehacon pass, well, they'll get in for free and, they can get a reduction on certain things. So, yeah, you're not asking them to choose between it. You're just incentivizing if they make a specific choice. Now, I found this to be an interesting comment, too, especially considering the idea that you had people like Ron going out and saying, those fans out there, those Vic fans, they're dangerous. Well, somebody says, hey, if I brought in a personal item with a Vic signature on it, would you sign this or not? And Monica says, hey, I don't have any problem with that at all. Also, of course, I never had anybody kicked out for cosplay, but I found that to be interesting, considering we've been told over and over again that the safety concern, it's not Vic. If you go out and you look at all of the stuff that these folks were liking, I did a video on that, you'll notice that they were saying the very people that would have this are the very people you have to avoid because safety concerns. Interesting stuff. And again, you see the people liking that, same type of people that were throwing out those types of statements. No disrespect to you or anything, but I am getting the most horrible impression that this signing is to draw people away from Kamehacon, especially on the busiest day of the weekend for any con. Again, not trying to be hateful, but nope, this is solely for the fans, done in conjunction with Kamehacon. Why in the world would Kamehacon say, hey, why don't you not come here to the place that you paid for? Why don't you go to this alternative location? That, of course, isn't for the quote-unquote fans, even though, again, that is the sales ploy. If you read every statement that Vic and I have made, of course, they say you're bullying out there if you have anything to say about that. People, they, of course, answer that. Cody here talks about YouTubers and a certain lawyer are trying to cover this when they feel is necessary for the truth. You can't entirely fault passion. Oh, no. Well, but they go through and they look at my Twitter post to quote-unquote harass me based on false accounts made by those people. So your own words thrown out on social media talked about. That's harassment now. It's quite amazing. Also, Twitter terms of service stipulates that anything that you throw out there, it can be talked about by anyone at any time. If you don't want things talked about that you throw out on social media, don't throw them out on social media. It's very easy. It's the same place that you decided to go and set someone's career on fire at. But now that it doesn't work out for you quite so much, it's about harassment. It's about something terrible. And that's a brand new statement there. I also say, since I have your attention, very disappointed in you moving away from Kamehacon, asking fans to drive 30 miles away for a convention they're paying a lot of money to attend is pretty messed up and a tad egotistical. Sounded off on that. Yep. They were also asked about the reason to do this. This, of course, it gives people that truly want to see me an opportunity to do so, which again reeks of opportunism and a way to go out and damage something. Also, the statement about controlling security at this location, that's kind of, terrifying in its own way, because you have the actual police at one location versus privatized security at another one. Now you tell me, when you're looking at that, how exactly could that be misused? How exactly could somebody that's been screaming about my safety and screaming about those terrible fans out there actually misuse this kind of setup? See, this stuff here, it reeks of hypocrisy. It reeks of many a thing. It reeks of, if you think about conspiracy to it, well, you might come up with some interesting ideas that it reeks of too. But I'm curious what you think about all of this. All of this for the fans. Amazing how divisive this stuff is, no? And it keeps getting uglier. It's not stopping anytime soon. These folks, when you go out and you look at what they've done, it's bothersome. It's bothersome because in the middle of it, you truly do have fans. All of these folks are trapped there. They're choosing sides in something that should never have been public in the first place. That's the ugliest part of all of this. These folks, the very ones that say don't talk about it, are the very ones that brought it forward into the public because they knew if they didn't, they wouldn't get their way. But let me know what you think about this. If you like this kind of content too, as I said at the beginning there, make sure that you're subbed. Make sure that you hit that bell for daily notifications and check out the links in the description. Those definitely help channels out. There's Patreon and on, different things within that. Also, we do a live stream about 5:15 Central Time every day, so you can keep an eye on that. And of course, while you're doing so, looking these videos over, make sure you leave comments. Pro or con, you don't have to agree. I want to end in one way that these folks, when they say for the fans, they forget. They're not rock stars. The ego there, it is amazing. And they've forgotten who exactly makes endeavors possible. Me, I haven't forgotten that. A lot of people haven't out there too. So I want to end by saying thank you. I appreciate you showing up. I want to say that every day because I am indeed thankful that you show up. You make this stuff possible. So I thank you for it, and we'll do it again soon.